for you?
Yeah, it is, Rizzy. We've been really pleased with how Luke Parker's gone in his absence. It's really developed him as well, but we know that Jude's been in good form this year, either as a midfielder or as a forward, so him coming back in today is really important for us.
Just taking a look at the side, Jesse White out. Malcheski, an unusual substitute.
Yeah, he's one. We just felt with Ty Cannelli as well. We've got the defenders there, the amount of defenders we needed. So I think Malcheski's a smart player, a good player, a running player, can play any position on the ground. So hopefully he can give us a bit later in the game.
Made 3 changes, Addison, Jakira and Liberatore in. But Robert Murphy's going to be a big exclusion, and Hill as well out of the side.
Yeah, Murphy gives them a lot of run off half back. I expect Higgins to play there. He's done that a little bit, but you certainly can't replace a Murphy type. I always think Cooney and Griffin. Griffin's had a super year. Cooney obviously injury problems. They're 2 real keys for the Dogs.
Boundary thrown again. Neither side able to score just yet. Just feeling each other out at the moment and getting used to these conditions which are heavy underfoot. Cooney's quick kick. Hall playing in front is rewarded. 24 goals, 6 for the season. Doesn't usually miss when he's directly in front. He gets the first, and a big day for him, and the Bulldogs out to a 6-point lead. And here's Goods, making a mockery of the wet conditions. High ball, Reid again the target. Can he make amends? Had plenty of it, paid the mark. You won't get an advantage from a mark. Reid's going to have to go back and kick the goal.
And he's gone a long way back.
He's learned to right the wrong and put the Swans in front. Nice drop, nice finish. First goal for Reid. Now, Matty Boyd just threw Kieran Jack out of the contest, and again Kieran Jack made sure the umpire saw it, got the free kick, high ball in, Reid and Williams the contest, Goods crumbs it cleanly, and goes again for a second effort. The dual Brownlow medalist off the outside of the boot. That's why people come to the footy, to see that.
There's certainly not a lot of drop-off, even here at this stoppages. Look at both forward lines, it's one-on-one. There's no dropping off in front of Hawley at the moment, and no dropping off down the other end in front of Lewis Roberts-Thompson.
Advantage paid to Boyd as he kicks it long to Hall, who's got one-on-one with Richards. He likes it, goes back, kicks the goal. He's got 2. He's got all the Bulldogs score. That boundary throw was very short, beat everybody. Boyd back to Cooney. Have to be careful here. Not 15. Sydney a chance. O'Keefe off a step to the square. Reid. Almost something from nothing from the Swans.
He's had some chances, Reid, hasn't he? A couple where he hasn't grabbed, a couple of misses, but he looks extremely dangerous up there.
He just looks like one of those players that one day is just going to kick a huge bag.
He does. Well, he could easily have 4 at the moment, couldn't he?
Long kick, it's a beauty right down the middle. Hudson was the target, Sydney with the crummers. Jack around the corner, players have to stand and wait. Big courage required, play it down for the Bulldogs. Bird solidly met, ball top chance for Sydney, and the goal to McVeigh. They did well there. Sydney with the first goal of the second quarter, they're out to an 8-point lead. Goods involved again, slap forward. And Sydney through Bolton, he wanted the ball and he gets 50. This for 2 in a row for the Swans, give them a little mini break of 14 points. Hits it pretty well and he makes Griffin pay. Hanbury, choice of 2, Parker. Untidy handball to Richards, but Hanbury kept going. Now you got Jack off the bench at the right time. Sydney again with a good build.
Goods alone.
Roberts-Thompson the target. Goods was one of the crumb, but the spoil was another big one. And Higgins runs onto it at first. Gian Siracusa underneath all that. Parker shuffles it forward. Here's Goods. Again to Parker. Kept going. Bird in some space. 45 metres out. 3 in a row, the Swans.
The Dogs.
Well, they need Griffin, Cooney, Ward, and their midfielders to get into the game. Jones lost it a little bit in the sun there, but he's back onto it, trying to paddle it forward. Grundy gave it up to Grant. Clever handball to Ward. Thought about the goal and then did the team thing to slip it onto the chest of Hooper. Need it to get. Oh, he got too close to the man of the mark and he chipped it up. But he did okay in the end. He had to wait, but he kicks the goal. So here's Shaw, and he's away. He's going to back himself to kick it over the top to Mumford, and running for Mumford is Johnson. And that's where it goes. They're going to use Jetta out wide, it doesn't need to, bounces for him, runs to the 50, short pass into the middle, terrific stuff, Sydney. Starts with Shaw, ends in Bird, deserves a goal.
Great play by Johnson, recognised there was space on the wing, and also Shaw had to recognise it as well. Johnson ran, got it off Mumford, but a really good kick there. And again, Higgins just getting a little bit lost there. Wasn't sure to go to Johnson or to stay on his man. Really good decision from Johnson to kick it inside to Bird.
Bird lining up for his second. Will it be 2 in a row for him? It is the answering goal to the Swans. And in the end, Mumford's going to get back. It's going to be 2-on-1 if he doesn't kick it quickly. It's 3-on-1.
Brilliant play.
He just took too long, Gene Sirkus. He had Hall one out there on Richards, and there's a lot of space. He just needed to get it in there a lot quicker than what he did.
Not Matner's best kick. Could be a monumental turnover. Hooper working hard. Dribble on the ground. Hooper kicks his second. How about that?
Yeah, I reckon if you didn't know what the scoreboard is and you looked up and saw the Swans were 8 goals in front, you'd probably say fair enough.
Jakura brilliantly away from the centre, bursts onto the scene and finds Grant. For 2 in a minute for the Bulldogs. 40 metres out. As soon as he hit it, he turned around and said, yes! Long kick in. Falls a little bit short. Williams with the height advantage. Back to Boyd. Now he tumbled it forward. Easton Ward needs a kind bounce. Didn't get one. But he has strength through the core to Gian Siracusa. It's 2-on-1 here, the Bulldogs, and they worked it out nicely. Ward towards Hall. Needed Crummer, but he got there in time. Griffin was thinking about cruising past. Can he get home from here, Paul?
Yeah, look, at his best, he's a very long kick and a very accurate kick. He's traditionally a terrific kick from outside 50, so I suspect he can get home from here.
And the hand was quicker than the eye there, and that's why it's such a difficult game to umpire. Even with the asset of a replay, still not absolutely convinced he threw it, but it did look at it. He looked guilty, Matthew.
He did look guilty. Hall, outside 50. Big kick this. He's got 3, and the Bulldogs are back in it.
Talked about Boyd is a great player, Cooney's a great player, Griffin. So now it's up to the midfield of either team to really respond.
They've got to respond to clearances, though. They've been okay the last 5 or 6 minutes, the Bulldogs, but right throughout the game they've been given a nice old belting in that area.
That's a beautiful kick from Cullen Ward. Lace out to Barry Hall, outside 50. Oh, Barry! Oh, don't retire! You're on song!
Really strange kick from Sean Higgins. He kicked it to a 1-on-3 situation.
Short to McGlynn, who loves a goal.
It's a bit of Russian roulette the Dogs kick into the moment, Jared. I think if they're kicking it long, it's either going over the back and they're having a quick scoring shot, but most of the time over the last 5 minutes, a Swans player's either got a spoil to it, or in that case, Mumford's marked it.
He's a goal-a-game man. This is game 75. He has 75 goals to his credit, 24 this season.
Good kick.
Make that 25 and the Swans get back control. Super tackling by both sides. Bird to Mumford. They work it across the ground. Eventually they get free. Now Reid the target. He wins the mark, wins the free kick. Take your pick.
Well, we know Travis Cloke is dominating contested marks at the moment, but this kid is one of the best young contested marks that's come into the game for a long time.
All goods.
In the goal square, LRT.
And it's going to be as easy as you like for Roberts. Thompson bangs through the goal. Can get it.
That's where they're at their most dangerous, and that's why the forward pressure of the Bulldogs has to just maintain high intensity. There's Easton Woods really having a fair crack. But the Swans are most dangerous, Bruzy, when they're in half-back.
Yeah, they've had a couple. Here's Benny McGlynn.
McGlynn! Oh, yes! The decision-making from the Bulldogs at the moment playing into the hands of the Sydney Swans.
50. Jeez.
It's just so un-Bulldogs like, Matty. When we see the Bulldogs at their best, it's run and carry and bounce and get it inside, get it in the corridor. At the moment, every time they get it, Jared, is just get one step kick down the line, and it seems to be coming back over and over again.
So Addison was called for 50 metres.
Well, they've given away too many 50s over the last couple of weeks. They just haven't read the fine print.
So Bird for a personal best. 3 goals to Bird. And the Swans are the Birds you want to be on at the minute.
The Swans.
Jones long, Hall coming late. It's going to drop short. Well, somehow, I don't know what happened to Grant there. He was in best position to mark that, but Barry just came through with a better ticket.
Well, not only Grant, I think it might have been Johnson, Grant's opponent, was it? Whoever the Swans player was just sort of lost sight of the ball and had an air swing over the top, and then Hawley came out of nowhere.
Hasn't done much wrong on the opening day of the farewell tour, has Barry Hall. Let's see if he can slot one in from a favoured angle.
For goal number 5, it's a big kick. Oh, he's a beauty, isn't he? Do it. And 26 seconds to go. He's going to kick it so Reid can run onto it. He almost did. O'Keefe. Well, it somehow came out to Bolton, who gave it to McVeigh, who throws it on the boot. And persistence pays for the Swans once again. Crowd thought it might have been, but anyway, here's McGlynn again. Inspiring stuff from him once more, but unfortunately it's smothered by Boyd. Numbers still with Sydney though. Bird from 50 metres out. Bird, his 4th goal.
But the 8 doesn't often change that much after halfway during the season, does it? Because if you're a fair way behind, there's no margin for error. As talented as the Bulldogs are, and St Kilda we saw sneak into the 8, although the Swans, if they win this, will go above them. There's just no margin for error.
Hanbury to McVeigh off a step. Smith smothered. Liberatore got it back. Got it back and kicked a goal. Can he get the doggies back up here? He's doing everything possible at every contest. And he hits it long. Big leap from everywhere. And the man in front was Jones. To get them back to 20 points. A good shot of what's in front of him. He hits it okay. And the Dogs get 2 in a row. Dalhouse needs a runner going past. Gets one in Ward. Low ball to Hall. In fact, it was too good. Trip.
Big chance there, missed by Barry Hall. He knows it, just coughed up a chest mark. It was a bullet. But Ruzzi, I know the Swans have got this game seemingly in their control, and yet they're just 21 points in front. I mean, a couple of goals, the game's dead. And yet there doesn't appear to be this, let's just contain rather than let's attack continuously.
Well, they should be miles ahead. It's 67 inside 50s to 40.
It's about to be 68 as Malcheski swings around, hits it low, too low in fact. Loose ball, Adam Goods still going. Wanted a free kick, didn't get it. Addison. Have to be careful to Ward. Some run here from Wood.
Oh, well done, Teddy Richards.
Now Jeddah. And did well. Balanced up, gave it to the sub in Malcheski.
I tell you what, that by Teddy Richards, Jared, was absolutely... Easton Wood was bursting through there. If Teddy Richards hadn't left his player to go to get that ball, there's every chance the Dogs would now be down by 15 points.
Well, he's been significant in this victory, particularly after half-time. You had Hall in the first half, and that one there, I think Woods had no concept that he was going to be challenged. But he's had a good second half.
Hall and Griffin have missed set shots at one end. Malcheski doesn't miss at the other.
Speaking of blokes that have big games, Adam Goods has had a belter of it again.
It's been sensational as the Dogs go forward through Griffin onto the test of Gian Siracusa, who's been a goal kicker in recent weeks, but he's found it tough today.
He's shown no signs whatsoever of losing any sense of his pace, Adam Goods. He's still got the flexibility in the back, which is saying something as well. He can arch, he can sprint. It seems just an absolute marvel of athleticism.
Gian Siracusa from inside 50 gets it to go right, left to right, and kicks the goal.
Speaking of good games, I don't think I've ever seen this bloke play a better one, Craig Bird.
Yeah, look, he's up to 19. This will be 20 possessions and 4 goals for a half-forward flanker who's playing a defensive role on Higgins. And speaking of which...
There's the Reed catch.
There's not many kids of this fella's age that can do that in AFL football when they walk straight in. And great reward for effort. As I said before, I think this guy's game today has been underrated from a statistics point of view. He's competed all day. Could have kicked a few goals early, 2 or 3 in the first quarter, missed a couple. Hopefully he kicks this goal and puts some icing on what's been a nice cake.
Reed for his second, gets close to the man of the mark again, but gets it to go the right way. He's got 2, and Sydney are happy. So Hanbury's 60 metres from goal. He's going to hook it to the right so Jetta can run onto it. And here he is. Trying to dance around Gilby, couldn't do so. Wobble kick forward, Adam Goods. Might be a 3 next to Goods. And that might just make sure there's a 3 next to Adam Goods.
Really?
There's a big difference between what's possible and what's mathematically possible.
Yeah, it just doesn't have it. You don't pick up 2 games in 5 on other sides.
No, it's almost the death knell. When anybody talks mathematically possible, you know you're finished.
That's right. It just doesn't happen. Roberts-Thompson still making it happen for the Swans. Nice kick from Hanbury, who just cramps up after doing that. He's had a big afternoon as well. 30 disposals. And LRT to line up for goal number 2.
Had a great game last week, Lewis Roberts-Thompson, probably almost their best play. A bit quieter today, but if he can nail this for a second, as a backup ruckman, you kick a couple of goals. Mumford's been outstanding, so that combination today, Mumford and Lewis Roberts-Thompson's been really good.
Siren sounds, Swans back in the 8. They win by 33, or do they win by 39? Yes, they do. It's a big afternoon at the SCG for the red and white, and they're pretty happy about it.
Yeah, good. I think 39 points. As we said, 74 to 46 inside 50. A much closer game than that during the call, Gerard. But probably the Swans overall did, in most key indicators, smash the Bulldogs.
Well, with the exception of 15 minutes of footy in the second term, they were never in the game. In many ways, the Western Bulldogs, from a statistical perspective, they just didn't ever have a long enough period where they won the contested ball or had a dominance of inside 50s. And the scoreboard, I think, now reflects what we've seen for the last 2 hours.